As per the expert's advice.
Yeah, before I used to, but now I have a little one that I send to school, and her school begins really early, so I have to wake up at 6 with her. And normally I'm trying to watch Arnab Goswami on television. I can't sleep unless I charge it up and I see someone else more agitated than me. So that sort of calms me down. I don't know, it's got a calming effect. But yeah, so yeah, he has. Because I feel like there's one person who's more agitated than me, and it just calms me. I just see them debate, and I slowly reduce the volume.
Or no, I'm sure we'll not be too happy to hear that.
Yeah,
and he puts you to sleep. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so that's why I was saying last 4 years I have been stressed because I don't get my 8 hours of sleep. And I need it. And I'm just so happy we're talking about rest for good health. Because everywhere I go, it's about running is good for health, yoga, breathing, it's always activity. And this is resting is good for health. First of all, that's really nice. So yeah, I haven't got, for 4 years, I've not been getting very good sleep, but I love sleeping. I love long flights. I love 18-hour flights, 16-hour flights. I just love it. So I'm looking forward to tonight when I'll be on this international flight for 8, 10, 12, 15 hours. I love it. So yeah, I'm so happy. The best sleep I get is when I enter a hotel room and I have that mattress, which is pretty much what you're bringing to India, and there's no sound.
Okay.
So that really gives me good sleep.
Okay. We'll move on now. So
I have a suggestion. I really want to move on.
Sure.
I have a suggestion for MagniFlex. You know those little mattresses you get on the flight when you're traveling? I spend 1/3 of I think I spend 1/3 of my life on an airplane. You know the thin mattresses? Please get some technology into that and get MagniFlex onto our mattresses when we're traveling. If you can come up with
pillows or travel comfort.
travel pillows, yeah, I mean that or
some innovation there.
when you wake up, you're like, I mean,
They're working on it.
DDT suits and things like that. We might as well get one of these things.
Great. So moving on, I'd like to bring in some statistics here. Dr. Abhishek Indian, specifically for you three. 72% of Indians are waking up 1 to 3 times per night, and 87% of them say that lack of sleep is affecting their work. Sleep apnea and insomnia, common sleep disorders, and 84 other sleep disorders often go undiagnosed. So why do you think, you're three experts here on particularly these matters, why do you think there's such a gross lack of awareness when it comes to sleep disorders?
Let me tell you, 60% of the people in the city, Mumbai city, are suffering from some form of insomnia or fear.
Yes.
People blame the mobile phone. Okay, people are getting too much addicted to the social networking sites and all that. And when they come to me, you ask them, they say, I don't get sleep, that's why I'm using the mobile. But it's the other way around. People are so addicted. You want to see one more WhatsApp, one more YouTube. You just don't feel like leaving it. And believe me, this insomnia, and it could be late sleeping or early morning awakening or repeatedly waking up again and again.
But why is there a lack of awareness about sleep disorders is my question.
Lack of awareness of sleep disorder as a medical illness is lacking. People feel, okay, for whatever reason, I'm thinking too much. Environment is not good. That's why I'm not sleeping. The television distracts. People keep phoning me in the middle of the night, etc., etc. But this is a disease, and this being cause of many heart attacks. Lots of diabetes, lots of high blood pressure, and lots of kind of snoring and all that. Sleep apnea. These kind of things are related to sleep disorder, and we need to tackle it as a medical illness. We need to diagnose what are the underlying
create more awareness.
Number one illness, depression. Which WHO said 80% of people are going to be on antidepressant medication.
Yes.
Which means more than 20% are under 6 years. Which means everybody is going to be on under depression. And depression is also one of the major cause of sleep disorder. Lots of people to get sleep in the beginning. They feel, let's have a drink. Let's have a cough syrup. Let's have some tablet. And in my practice, about 25 to 70% of alcoholics are because of primary insomnia.
Alright.
They have sleeping disorder, they resorted to drink to sleep, or cough syrup, Corex and all that, and later on they became addicted.
That's very insightful. I'd like to now ask Diane and Abhishek that what is your take on that? Why do you think there's such a lack of awareness when it comes to sleep disorders? And how can exercise play a role in enhancing your sleep experience? Because I've read that it can.
Lack of awareness, I think, because our city life, I think, firstly is too hectic. And people give other things importance. As in making money, wanting a new house, a new car,
Materialistic pursuits.
you travel abroad, and then you come home and now you just pop a pill and you sleep. They don't give it importance. So that is what is happening in our city lives.
Which is very alarming.
Yeah. So, and then they look at it as a very minor.
Where it leads to major illnesses.
Leads to major illnesses, to weight gain. So how much ever you go to the gym, you train, if you're not sleeping well, you're going to gain that weight, you're going to have health problems, you're going to have lifestyle diseases, everything is going to set in. They say, you're supposed to sleep 8 hours undisturbed, 8 hours of work, 8 hours of relaxed time and play. What we're doing in our city lives now is we're sleeping maybe 3 hours, working extra hours instead of 8 working extra hours, and the rest of the time partying, dinners, socializing, drinking, alcohol, smoking.
Yes.
So all of that. So it's given really very little importance. When I get 2 hours or 3 hours of sleep, it's okay.
Sheikh, what do you think? What is the reason for the lack of awareness?
I think, in the film industry, the people I train, and people are trying to be health conscious and fitness conscious in the media industry. But in general, when I think in India there is a major lack of discipline in terms of fitness, the food we eat. When I travel, I see a lot of people don't have a proper breakfast, they don't exercise in the morning. People have very late dinner and then they watch TV. It's very important to have an early dinner to be able to sleep early. And so lifestyle, I think, needs to be, and all the more now, when there's so much of pollution, there's so much lack of movement in it. There's some people who don't get any exercise at all. They just sit in a car, in a lift, go sit in an office the whole day, come back stressed with their bodies. They need to release that, they do some physical activity which will really help them sleep better, eat better.
So I'd ask you to hold that thought there, because that brings me to my next question. That research again shows that there are certain exercises that can be done to enhance your sleep experiences, certain breathing techniques, certain yoga positions. So could you tell us a little more about that, because I'm sure it will help all of us here. Which are the poses or the breathing techniques which could help, or are they such poses in the first place?
Yeah, and definitely yoga helps, goes a long way in combating stress and getting a good sleep as well. And I feel how you wake up and how you sleep, these are two very important things.
Sleep-wake patterns.
Yeah, the way you wake up in the morning, you drink some water, you do some stretches. You see even animals, they wake up and you see a cat or a dog, they'll wake up, they'll do 1 or 2 stretches and then they'll wake up. And so it's very important to do some stretches in the morning, go outdoors in greenery, get some sunlight. There's a major lack of people getting enough sunlight. That's so important to get that little sun, natural light in the morning, and do your exercise there. And and I think I'm also big on cardio. Like, it's very important to do a proper running, brisk walking, any cardio routine, and some yoga postures, do Surya Namaskar, stretching. A lot of stress we carry from work, which carrying a lot of knots in our back and all. So when you do cardio, when you do stretches, when you do specific yoga postures, the breathing techniques like Anulom Vilom, Pranayam, they actually work on the nervous system, they soothe your nerves. And I won't advise like very heavy exercise later in the evening, but generally yoga, the inverted postures, they get blood flow towards your head, blood circulation in your body. So and certain spinal stretches, like yoga works on your spine, and generally like everyone is having some or the other spinal issues, and that's also partly to do with the stress. So yoga works a lot on that. It helps you breathe better. And so some stretches, some breathing techniques, some cardio is essential for people, even if it is you do 20 minutes, but if you're not doing it at some point or the other, you're going to face a lot of problems.
So Diane, I'd like to bring you in here. You've written a whole chapter on sleep in your one of your best-selling books. So tell me, is exercise and sleep deeply related? Do people need to realize that?
Yes, it is. It depends. You shouldn't exercise, I feel, too late in the night because sometimes it can make you really alert. But sometimes it can also tire you, and then you get good sleep. And yes, it is related. Yeah.
And would you like to talk about any particular workout which can enhance your sleep experience?
It depends.
Okay.
Yeah, it depends. Yoga is like very calming. Yeah, like breathing, shavasana.
Okay.
It's the way we breathe. None of us really breathe full into our lungs. It's just like you just breathe in and breathe out. Yoga helps you to breathe fully into your lungs, your full capacity. There's more oxygen into your system. So that relaxes you. There's more oxygen to your brain. It's just simple science.
All right.
Yeah.
So I'd like to bring in Lipika right now. How important is the sleep environment? Like a bedroom is supposed to be sacrosanct. All right.
See, as a designer, when you're designing a home, particularly the bedroom becomes a very, very important part of the whole process of how you live. And today, bedrooms have actually started becoming living rooms because no longer is the bedroom only to sleep. We eat our food there, we entertain, we meet our friends.